We know that the way that we channel is a bit different from what most people are used to. People are not used to knowing exactly how consciousness works. And what used to be channeling before, where you had these really abrupt things, nowadays it's much smoother because the pathways in consciousness have already been established between higher intelligence and humans. There have been many channelers before that have opened up this pathway to higher intelligence. And some are more in sync than others. Some are more acute to one particular thing and the other on a different thing in a different topic because that was needed. There are all different aspects of what is needed for any given situation. Just the same, is this an avenue for to learn higher intelligence and that own connection? What we are focused on is the experiential. We are using our feeling centers most of the time to maneuver what's going on. We have developed a very deep connection with our body, which in turn is Gaia. We can feel what is our energy. We know what is other energies. And this is the practice. We are meant to clarify our spaces, all of our spaces. Clarify the space so that you are claiming your space. So that you're not letting any other energies occupy the sacred vessel that you have been appointed. And you may not even think that there is such a thing. And that just shows the level of awareness. We saw a quote today which we were like, yeah, ignorance is not bliss. Totally agree with that. Because once you know, you make smarter choices and you move you make smarter choices, which leads to more rewards. When you know how this reward system truly works, which is not oh, you're a good boy, you're a good girl, that's not what it is. You know? Even if you think that you've let it go, if your feeling still gets pulled a little bit, you know that you still have some work to do. You can try and pretend that it's not there, but it doesn't really work. The only thing that works is that you walk the body's path to this realization of its connection with higher intelligence. And you are the one that can make that connection happen inside of you. If you make the right connections. This is not a religious thing. Although Jesus, Jeshua may seem religious energetically to many. And that is the energetic truth. Not what you think. Not that you know something else, but if your body is still reacting a little bit here, or having this knee-jerk thing over here, or doing this thing over here to compensate for this thing over there, that is what your responsibility is here as a soul, to look after that balance. That is literally your responsibility with yourself. If you don't do it, no one's going to do it. No one's going to do it. There is no one else that can do that job better than you. That's why you were appointed that job, to look after yourself. We haven't had a very good schooling when it comes to looking after ourselves mentally and energetically. Mentally and energetically, this has been a complete shit show. Let's just call it for what it has been. But now that we have been through all of that, we are ready for the next step in human evolution, which is to align with the soul. That is a possibility here. You can actually, once you harmonize correctly, those two hemispheres synchronize. You can get into these states in meditation. There are many ways to get into these states. But we are talking about a state that is not artificially infused into the system. Although it might be seeming like that in the beginning, because we need training wheels to do something new, right? And that is what we are offering. We are offering training wheels for you to properly get your footing in these frequencies, so that you can actually get that balance within yourself. Once you get that balance right, your life changes. It is one of those things that, if you know a tree that starts from here and then it spreads out, and then this spreads out, and this spreads out, and this spreads out, and this spreads out. So there are all these sprouts, right? At the seed of the dualistic perspective is sort of like the root. And that is these two balances between the masculine and the feminine. That's why it almost seems too simple. But once you truly harmonize those two, all of these other, they change, because you've changed the root of what needs to change inside of you. And once you truly get how big this is, all of your other problems you think is problems is completely gone. Because they have been solved by the very thing that was just needed in the first place. Just this simple internal balance. The truth is often very simple. And that's what we are teaching here. We are calling it energetic truth. To align the human body with energetic truth. Once a human body have been through the clarification process of the mind to see the world accurately in forms of the different levels of consciousness and the different levels of operation, when someone speaks, knowing where they're at, being able to determine where they're at in their frequency. And you can only see for as far as you've grown. And so, when there is someone you can't see, it's usually because they are farther in their comprehension. Sometimes it is like that. Because most beings that can see, and they know that they see. What do they do with it? You know? It's so much energy, these channelings. We invite you to feel your body. Just sit and feel all of the different cells that you have inside of you. Feel all of the different slight disturbances of energy, and start to move your body to see if you can loosen. See if you can loosen that. Sometimes you can just move. Sometimes a little bit of movement is all that's needed to correct something. Sometimes it's just like small corrections of your own internal, that just, you can feel the energy just, ooh, that felt better. Tune into that. It's a lot of energy right now. If you can feel this, please close your eyes. Oh, just receive this blessing. Just stroke here. This is an area that is very soothing to just do to yourself. This is a lovely self-love exercise where just stroking here, you have a lot of energy coming out your hand, especially when you have been through one of these upgrades and you receive more energy. And with that more energy, when you touch here, you can feel energetically inside how it sort of soothes. You have to feel for it. It's an opening and a deeper sensitivity. Oh, you can sort of feel pain even when you do that. It's sort of like good pain. It's like pain that you finally sort of relax. And don't, just feel. No thoughts, just feel, breathe and stroke. Stroke yourself. From the heart down to the solar plexus. And just a little bit over the solar plexus. There are some really wonderful energetic spots there that truly nurtures and soothes that power center and that balance between the power center and the heart. That it just soothes that. And also it works on the back of the heart as well, historically, because you are soothing all of that. And you may feel that as mirrored sensations when you're doing something here, that there is a mirrored sensation on the back that you feel sort of the same. Just feel for that. Take a couple of deep breaths. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have turned up the frequency, and obviously you have to allow, and if you do, say yes, I invite these frequencies from Jeshua, the Ascended Masters, the Galactic Family of Light, Gaia. I invite you all to come into my space and uplift my consciousness, correct any energies, any distortions, Please guide my physical vessel back into harmony with the most natural frequencies. And that you can feel there is an increase now. Can you feel that? So please keep going, keep working, keep adjusting all of the different things. I would say turn it up actually. Turn up that there are some things being worked on the back of the heart, which is usually like historical things that may not have been closed completely. And so some of these are just wiggling. You can even assist the body. This is why doing Kundalini yoga is wonderful, doing these types of things, because it loosens up the energy within the vessel. This is what the yogis does to loosen up energy. In the, not the modern yogis, but the old yogis of India, Tibet, all these practices. This is what we are bringing back to you in this different format right now. And so if you wish to join us to elevate more in frequency, there is a link below. We want to say that there is a lot of energy moving right now. Please allow that to continue to move. And just if you feel that your body needs to lay down, lay down. There is a lot of movement right now with the system. And so this is an upgrade. And thank you so much for watching and for receiving us. And we'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao. Drink plenty of water.